Have you ever wondered why mistakes are so crucial in our lives? Well, let's venture into this together. Picture this, a world where everything is perfect, where mistakes are non-existent. Sounds ideal, right? But would it really be? Without mistakes, there would be no room for growth, no opportunities for learning. You see, it's through our mistakes that we truly learn. They're not just errors or blunders, they're our teachers, our guides on this journey we call life. Every stumble, every wrong turn is a chance to gain wisdom, to become better, stronger, and more resilient. Remember, it's not about the number of times you fall, but the number of times you get up, dust yourself off, and continue moving forward. In fact, some of the most successful people in history are those who have made the most mistakes. They embraced their errors, learned from them, and used them as stepping stones to achieve greatness. So instead of fearing mistakes, let's start embracing them. Let's change our perspective and see them not as signs of failure, but as opportunities for growth and learning. Let's use them to fuel our journey towards success, because the truth is, mistakes are not just inevitable, they're necessary. They're the driving force behind innovation and progress. They push us out of our comfort zones, challenge us to think differently, and inspire us to strive for better. So the next time you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. Instead, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? Because each mistake is a lesson waiting to be learned, a step towards becoming the best version of ourselves. Now, let's dive into a story that will illustrate the true power of learning from our mistakes. Meet John, a successful entrepreneur who wasn't always on top of his game. Once upon a time, he was just like any other aspiring business person, full of dreams and ambitions. However, the road to success wasn't always smooth for John. John had a grand idea for a product that he believed would revolutionize the market. He poured his heart and soul into his first business venture, investing not only his savings, but also his time and energy. He was certain that his product would be a hit. But as fate would have it, things didn't go as planned. The product flopped, and John's business crumbled before his eyes. He was left with nothing but a failed venture and a bruised ego. The experience was devastating, and for a moment he considered giving up on his entrepreneurial dreams. John went through a whirlwind of emotions. He felt guilt, regret, and disappointment. He questioned his capabilities and his decisions. But amidst the chaos of emotions, a spark of realization ignited within him. He understood that he had two options: to wallow in his failure or to learn from it. John chose the latter. He decided to view his mistake as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. He reflected on his decisions, identified his missteps, and acknowledged his shortcomings. He realized that his failure was not the end, but rather a beginning, a chance to start anew with more wisdom and experience. He used his failure as fuel to drive him towards success. He learned, adapted, and grew. He didn't let his past mistakes define him, but rather used them to shape his future. Today, John stands as a testament to the power of redemption, a beacon of hope for those who fear failure. John's story shows us that it is not the mistake itself, but how we react to it that truly matters. Mistakes are inevitable, but they're also valuable lessons in disguise. They're opportunities for growth, for learning, and for redemption. So the next time you make a mistake, remember John's story. Remember that it's okay to fail as long as you learn, grow, and rise again. So, what did John learn from his mistake, and how did he apply these lessons in his future endeavors? John's journey of redemption didn't just happen overnight. It was a process, a series of lessons learned one step at a time. It all started with him realizing the power of acknowledging his mistake. John learned that accepting his mistake was the first step towards turning it into a lesson. He also discovered that it was okay to feel bad about messing up. After all, we're only human, and we all make mistakes. What matters is how we respond to these mistakes. The next lesson that John learned was the importance of understanding why he made the mistake. He took a step back and looked at the situation objectively. He asked himself, what led me to make this mistake? What could I have done differently? By doing this, he was able to identify the root cause of his mistake and take corrective measures to prevent it from happening again. Another crucial lesson John learned was the value of resilience. He realized that making a mistake didn't mean he was a failure. It just meant that he had to try again, but this time with a better approach. He learned that each setback was a setup for a comeback. John also learned the importance of seeking help when needed. He realized that it's okay to ask for guidance when you're unsure. After all, no one knows everything, and we all need a helping hand sometimes. But perhaps the most important lesson John learned was the power of transformation. He discovered that he could turn his mistake into an opportunity for growth. He used his mistake as a stepping stone to build a successful business. He turned his failure into a lesson, his obstacle into an opportunity, and his setback into a comeback. And these lessons aren't just applicable to John alone. They can be applied universally, whether you're a student who failed an exam, an entrepreneur who started a failed business, or an artist whose work was criticized. These lessons remind us that mistakes aren't the end of the world, they're just the beginning of a learning journey. John's story is a testament to the fact that a mistake can indeed be a stepping stone to success if we learn from it. So, how can we shift our mindset to view mistakes as opportunities rather than failures? This question brings us to the heart of our journey today: embracing our mistakes. Each mistake is a stepping stone on the path of growth, a beacon guiding us towards improvement. We all stumble, we all fall, but the magic lies in rising again, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. The first step in embracing our mistakes is acceptance. Acceptance is not about justifying our errors or brushing them under the carpet. It's about acknowledging them, owning them, and understanding that it's okay to err. We're humans after all, not machines. The next step is reflection. Reflecting on our mistakes gives us a chance to pause, analyze, and understand where we went wrong. It's like playing a game of chess with ourselves, where we learn not just from our successful moves, but more importantly, from the moves that led to checkmate. Once we've reflected, the next step is to learn. Every mistake carries a lesson, like a kernel of wisdom waiting to be discovered. It's our job to find that kernel and use it to nourish our future actions. And finally, we must apply. Once we've learned our lesson, it's time to implement it. This is where the real growth happens. It's like planting a seed of knowledge in the soil of experience, then watching it grow into a tree of wisdom. Embracing our mistakes is not a one-time event, but a continual process. It's a journey of learning, growing, and evolving, where each mistake is a milestone, each lesson a beacon of progress. And as we continue on this journey, let's not forget the power of compassion towards ourselves and others. Let's remind ourselves that making mistakes is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our courage to try, to explore, to innovate. Remember, it's not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning, growing, and evolving from them. So the next time you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this?